What up? What up? What up?
Peace, peace, peace.
It's another Friday night. Got my girl Shine in the building. What's going on?
Yeah. Nothing. Bouncing back, getting my shine on. Had a lot going on this week.
Mhm.
PTA, work, you know, mom stuff.
Let me put this on. Chill a little bit.
Yeah, I zone out sometimes, but this one I really like. This is good to even like play real low, like in the meditation room.
No
Because
doubt.
I done tried it already and it works very good.
Shout out to Soul Res Music. Definitely dropping that track.
Yes, yes,
Killing
yes.
it.
He did his thing with that one.
Facts. So, what's the school with Halloween for you this weekend? You got the kids doing something or what's up?
Well, we just got finished doing trunk or treat at the school last night, and with the PTA COVID-19 and selling PTA t-shirts and doing the last night of the book fair all in the same space, it was a lot for me, but I pulled it off.
I got you. Okay. And that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Everybody, everybody who's
Mm.
swinging in, definitely say what's up. This is a social place, so feel free to say what's up.
Run your mouths, run your mouths. Well, run them fingers, run them fingers.
Facts. So you were telling me you were sore from trunk or treat, correct?
No, it was from all of that yesterday, and then today we were officially shutting down the book fair and having to close everything up. Those big carts come already stacked, so when you fold them up, you got to stack the other stuff that came in boxes on top of it and then push it. So I pushed about 3 carts all the way outside, up the hallway, out to the truck. Yeah, so I done had my workout for the day. I ain't playing around. The whole body workout, calves and everything was
That's what I
tight.
was gonna say. No doubt.
Peace, peace,
No doubt.
peace. There go my sis.
No doubt. Esoteric.
Yeah, y'all look out for esoteric soon.
We about to expand.
Yes, I love it. Everybody getting a shine, and that's what it is. 2022 is about going for what's for you. Like, seriously. You was getting your fingers ready, Lena.
Yes, indeed. Y'all had to call me out, my bad.
Hey, I'm calling everybody out. When I see you pop up in the chat, I'm going to recognize you. Y'all my peeps. Is that Ali?
Yes, it is. Give me
okay. Peace,
Hey,
peace.
We appreciate it, my black peoples.
Yes.
So
So I have a piece I want to do real quick because I believe from our background conversation, it's going to kind of lead into the same thing, which is dope because this brother, I dubbed him the controversial poet. But he's dope and it's in a great way because, in any craft, it should be about you challenging yourself. And how we met was at Sharita's open mic, and we both enjoyed the pieces that we shared. And this was actually the first one I did. It was March 12th of this year, but it was, kind of like opening to what was unveiling for myself personally. So I titled it Bond. Really wasn't going for that, but at the end, you'll understand why. I don't have any art to go with it this time. But let's go ahead. Let me spit this piece for y'all, and then we're going to bring Paige in, all right? Bond. This is not how it's supposed to be. Purpose of a unit is to add on abundantly, but you subtract habitually. Truths unloading, destroying my body psychosomatically. For the love of sanity, on repeat mentally, during this present day calamity. Your word is no longer bond, straight like a con artist in your own right. Representative, Academy Award worthy. It's Oscar night. Caught up in the whirlwind of egotistical bullshit acceptance speeches. Linguistic magic wands, ducking and dodging pulling all my sources together like Optimus Prime to battle this master Decepticon. Far from a Don, communication is key. Integrity is everything. And most importantly, your word must be bond. Appreciate it.
Snap.
So let's come on, bring Brother Paige in, because he got some hot stuff for y'all as well.
What's good, party people?
Peace. Thank you, Lita. Thank you, sis.
So I'm about. Y'all go ahead and do greatness. I'll be right back.
All right. As Troy fades to the background. What's up, Paige?
What's going on, Sunshine? How you feeling?
I'm good. So the last time we saw each other was at our people's wedding, and Sharita is in the chat. I don't know if you see her. Esoteric Entertainment.
Esoterica, and then she being nosy. She do. You want to know what's popping?
You know. We got to keep us all in the loop. So, where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Queens, New York. Anybody that's in here from Queens, London 198th Street, Fam Crew, Hollis Crew, what's the other crews? Linden Crew, Get Over to Laurelton, it's Boom Bash and Young Guns, yeah, all that, you know.
Yeah,
but
all that.
Me specifically, Linden and 198th, Queens, New York.
Okay. And how long have you been living in the South?
Shit. I was in the military, so I've been like kind of a few places. But this stint, I would say about 4 years. But I had moved down. I was stationed down here for about 5 years. Then I lived in Baltimore for 18 years. Then I came back down. And mentioned Baltimore. Shout out to my man Mike, little bro. He might be watching. If you're watching, Mike, get your fingers busy. Let me know you in here.
That's right. Sharita says she's being supportive, Paige. I can hear her voice. So before we go into more of where you've planted your feet, let's go back a little bit. How did poetry become a part of you?
Back in a year of our Lord, 1988, I wanted to be the next Big Daddy Kane. I had the flat top,
hey!
Crew, rhyming and carrying on. And when that didn't work out, because it was just so much getting into the industry or trying to get into the industry, especially back then, there was no internet, no real independent movement. You pretty much needed a label. Yeah. And the deals they was offering was, just trash. And they were trying to steal from you before you even had anything to steal. But I never stopped writing. Okay. So I decided that with having a family and kids at a young age, I didn't really have the time or the ability to have the live on the sofa lifestyle. I had real life shit I had to take care of right then.
Okay. So, respect.
I was working and I just, I couldn't, jump in the back of somebody's station wagon and ride down to Jack the Rapper and hope, they wanted me, not when I had two baby girls. You know what I'm saying? So.
Nah, I feel you.
But at any rate, I never quit writing. And then there was a movie. I want to say this was around 97, 98. I want to say it was called Slam. I want to say that's what it was called. There's about a cat based out of D.C. and he was a slam poet. Mm-hmm. And there was a scene. He got locked up for some foolishness.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about, right? The movie?
Yep.
That scene on the yard where he zapped slam, I was like, yo.
He just started spitting and they didn't know what to do. Like they was about to approach him, and then everybody was like, hold up, wait a minute. Exactly. And they ain't had no choice. Like they was stuck in motion, but he was hitting them with them lines, them bangers, and they couldn't do nothing but resonate. So yeah, that's one of my favorites as well. I definitely know what you're talking about.
Once I saw that movie, I started seeking it out. And actually at that time, let me share my little Thuma wagon, which I couldn't get it on the wall. But I had this made. I don't know if y'all could see it good.
Okay.
But it was a dude. So it had to be around 97, 98. Because I was a CEO for a while. And the cat that was locked up. He did that with paper, on regular paper with charcoal.
Yep.
And I had it digitized. Well, a friend of mine had it digitized for me, framed up and everything for my birthday 1 year. So, shout out to whoever drew that. I don't know where you are, but if you happen to see it anywhere, shout out to you. Can't remember
That's
his name.
what's
A long
up.
time ago. But
That's what's up. Yes, Jack the Rapper Cypher and Slam. Yes, Saul Williams. Lena, when I tell you she be in the cut, she come in and yes, and she's on point. I can't wait for she's next Friday possibly. Hey, so make sure you tune in because we gonna be kind of ripping it. And that's the next erotic poet series too as well. So
yeah, bro, always being nasty. Y'all just nasty.
See, here you go. It's always being nasty. Well, okay, so you've been continuing to write since '88. You was trying to get into the industry. Family Man, which you took a stand. You know what I'm saying? That I don't want to say you put your dreams on the shelf. You just put priorities set because you had a family you had to provide for. Correct?
Absolutely. If I put the dream on the shelf, I wouldn't still be writing. It's just the fact that, reality is reality, right? My kids had to eat, and I get it. If I didn't have kids at the age that I was, and I was in like my early 20s. It wasn't like, I was 16, 17 years old, but I was out my parents' house. I had a family. So I'm a man, and a man, in my opinion, your first responsibility is your family. You take care of your family. So that means for me to wait or sacrifice something, then that's what it has to be. And that's what it was. Now, since I had them young, they like my little homies. My daughters, shout out to Dev and Dalia. And
please.
We hang out. When they come down, I come up there, and at this point, we like best of friends. And now they get to share stuff like this with me, they come down sometimes just for events.
That's good.
So,
that's dope.
I didn't really give up anything. Who knows? If I'd have got a deal, who knows what that would have turned into.
Yeah.
But I know that I was there for my daughters, was able to raise them, be there for them throughout their life. So I wouldn't trade it.
Yeah, because we definitely need our fathers.
There you go. What up, Mike B?
All
That's
right.
my man,
Peace,
the little bro.
Okay, peace. So, what are you currently working on? Or is there some future projects you got going?
So right now, so the whole performing thing, right? I ain't really want to do that. I just wanted to host, right? I did. I feel like that's where I'm the most comfortable, just hosting events, whatever.
Okay.
But apparently you have to perform and do things in order for people to give you that shot, right? So right now I'm working on a one-man show. Haven't titled it yet, but it's kind of like it's going to take you down through the different parts of me, right?
Yeah.
From the goofy side of me to the political side to the love side, all of that in 15 minutes. It's going to be a short one at first, right?
Got you.
And if anybody book me, if y'all listening, once this gets ready, if y'all book me, if y'all need more than 15 minutes, don't worry. I have more. I just got to read them, all right? But I ain't memorizing no more than 15 minutes at this point. So, but yeah, that's the biggest thing I'm working on right now.
Being a feature is definitely dope. Shout outs to Sharita again and Keisha McCain after getting reacquainted with Sharita and then meeting Keisha for the first time after rocking out with them with Artists for Justice for Mother's Day. I was featured. So I definitely know what you're saying. You take people on a trip, depending on what you write about. So, and RL, I call him the hostess with the mostest. He was the one that brought me in. He's been at the host for quite a few open mics that I've been had the pleasure of partaking in. But that's definitely a lot of work, especially the memorization.
Right. 15 minutes is a long time for people that don't do this. It's a lot.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah. Then I'm doing Nouns and Verbs with Sharita Esoteric Entertainment. Shout out to her.
Shout out to them again. Big up.
And Simply Sonia's every Thursday out on Winston-Salem. I hit that one.
That's where some of the pictures are, right?
Yeah, that's where I've been. Like all of
Troy,
the
can
most
you
recent posts.
show some of the pictures that he sent earlier?
Yeah, like that's
Where's that's the other? What's the name of this place?
Simply Sonia's out in Bro, move to the next one. That's a funny looking shot. I shouldn't have sent you that one, yo. That one's better. There we go.
That was looking funny.
But yeah, I think all of these are Simply Sonia's. There's one that's at the Artist Block. That's the Artist Block.
Mm-hmm. I was there that night. Isn't that the night we met?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then that was the first event I did down here in Greensboro with Shantae. What was it called? What shit? She gonna be mad at me. I can't remember the name, but anyway, it was our first event that we did out here in Greensboro. Shout out to Shantae Renee.
Charge it to the head, not the heart, sis.
Right. I can't. It was poetry, and it'll come to me though. It'll come.
Okay.
But anyway,
where was the location? You remember where it was held?
Yeah, it was. We rented a space up on Randleman Road, not too far from where we are now. I forgot the actual name of that place as well. So listen, don't expect a whole lot of me from remembering things. That's just not my strong suit. All right. I see it where it is in my head. I don't
listen. I'm gonna just let you know right now. This just is not what I do. Okay. Okay. Look, I chill. I got you. I fall back. So, you got this one man show you said you're working on. What's something else that you got? You have what's some of your like, you know how they say who is the someone you look up to that you really wanted to work with, or something that you always wanted to do with your poetry that you feel that you're almost there, or you still got some ways to go?
As far as who I would love to get on stage with and work with, and I know he's down here in North Carolina, so it's a good possibility he'll see this. Kane, if you hear me, brother, I thought I was gonna be the next you. Last I heard you was in Durham. I be sending you stuff in your IG, but you just be ignoring me. It's cool. You was just on the Equalizer, so whatever. I got you. You busy. It's just because you busy. It's not because you don't think I'm dope. It's because you busy. I get it. But no, all jokes aside, like if I could do something with like Kane, I saw KRS come down here, I would love to be able to share the stage or even just bring them on stage as a host. I would love to be able to do something like that. Gotcha. As far as other writing things that I have in my head, I've already written it's a 4-person piece, right? I would love to write a spoken word short show, right? Mm-hmm. I don't even want to perform. I want everybody else to perform what I wrote, right?
Okay.
So, maybe like a 15-20 minute showcase or something like that.
Okay.
I would love
almost something like George C. Wolfe's Colored Museum, where they have their own little. Okay. Yeah. I like that. Okay, that's a dope idea. Any possible screenplays?
I don't know. With writing, for me, I never wanted to be work, right?
Okay.
For me, it's fun and it's therapy. Okay. I never know when I sit down if I have an idea in my head and it's just not doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I let it go, right? So, I mean,
when that happens, does it ever come back to you? Like it just was the idea or the title popped up, but because it didn't have you like this, you let it alone. But then next, it came back, and then you ended up with this masterpiece afterwards. Has that ever happened?
I think they are masterpieces, Sunshine. If I wrote them, but
of course, as you should. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You supposed to.
They definitely come back, but actually, I heard Jay say that one time, and I just kind of started following it. He's like, when he sit down, if it don't flow, then he leave it alone.
That's right.
And because what I found is I will force stuff, and then when I went back to it, it's like this ain't it. But it's almost like I'm freestyling on paper.
Yeah, I get exactly what you mean. Mm-hmm.
And so when I'm doing that, then so with a screenplay and stuff like that, I just don't know. Like, I never tried it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But like I said, I feel like at that point it might be work. And I don't want it to be work. I've worked since I was 14 years old. And I ain't gonna tell you how old I am, but it's a long ass time, okay?
It's a long ass time.
At this point,
we all grown here.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit growner than everybody, though.
I mean, hey, I'm grateful. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of folks that ain't here to see it like me. I'm the first to see 40, 30. You know what I'm saying? So I celebrate that because I'm 41. You feel me? I'm an 81 baby. So yeah. I'm definitely always like, yup. They be like, oh, you don't even look like you 40. How old you think I am? They was like, oh, like 22. Yeah, you funny. Don't put me back there. You don't want to know who I was at 22.
So, with you telling me that, like I said, I'm still growner than everybody in the room. Okay, so I'm the grownest.
Okay. You're the grownest. The grownest. So look, before we get into some of this stuff that, you know, I only call you the controversial poet is because, you know, everything that I've heard, you make people in the crowd talk. You make them think. You know what I'm saying? It's not so much. What I mean is emotionally driven connections. You get what I'm saying? There are a lot of thought-provoking conversations that happen. And I notice only with certain poets that happens in the crowd, you know, and I've caught earshot of a lot of them, which I liked and it was dope. And Lena want to know how old you is.
Yeah, I seen that and I'm still growner than her. Go sit down. Go sit down.
He said, go sit down, son. Oh man. See, now you know we can really go back and forth like you RL, you know what I'm saying? Because we from up top, it's just like the vibe. We could do that all day long. We ain't even gonna get caught up on that. But yeah, Lena, you know how it go. I'm just saying, son. She said, well, dang. Before we get into your poetry, because I know it's going to cause some folks to possibly ask some questions, we do have our blast artist of the day. Troy, you want to bless us with who you have for us today to vibe with?
Sure thing. You decided to jump a little early. Okay.
Yeah.
We're good. This is my boy Elijah Rosario featuring Voice, and this is called Movie Star. Let's check it out.
Yeah, just me and my bros. Fresh out the whip with the drip and we know that we chosen. Yeah, the ladies look at us wondering who we are. We walked in the club just like some movie stars. Just like some movie stars. Yeah, just me and my bros. Fresh out the whip with the drip and we know that we chosen. The ladies look at us wondering who we are. We just walked in the club just like some movie stars. Just like some movie stars. Yeah. Got the all white with the seppies, got the champagne, yes, feel a little rich. Walk through the club, they respect me, baby don't test me. Taking you home after this. Run through the town, turn it up with my bros. We ain't worried about a thing cause we got money to blow. Let's go. Pour up the shots, now we litty. Bros on the scene, yeah, we in the city. Cameraman catch it, baby come near me. She pulled up a shot, took a shot off a set, and I'm gorgeous. Told me my skin is so flawless. Told me to smile for the big ego enormous. Run through the town living lawless. Know that I always been late. Yeah, just me and my bros. Fresh out the whip with the drip and we know that we chosen. Yeah, the ladies look at us wondering who we are. We just walked in the club just like some movie stars. Just like some movie stars. Life is good, paper straight. Take a shot, let's celebrate. Can't complain, bills is paid. Brothers on that paper tray. Off that we levitate. Bossing now we regulate. Got on your stock, got a different demeanor. Just leveled up in our salary cleaner. Yeah, just me and my bros. Fresh out the whip with the drip and we know that we chosen. The ladies look at us wondering who we are. We walked in the club just like some movie stars. Just like some movie stars. Yeah, just me and my bros. Fresh out the whip
And that's our boy Elijah Rosario representing Durham, North Carolina.
What they do, Bull City.
And also, if you would like to be an artist just like Rosario, or even if you do spoken word or even comedy, you can sign up at blastmusic247.com, register as an artist for free, and be a part of the family. That's blastmusic247.com, changing the industry one artist at a time. All right, y'all, do your thing.
All right. Yes, Lena, I gotta agree with you there. I like that song too. The more and more I hear it. Yeah. Blast be having some dope artists. And it's like all different genres too. Look, Paige, this brother right here is my official big brother. Brothers United of NC. That's my big brother Malik. Said peace from Brooklyn, NYC.
Oh, wait a minute. You just said Brooklyn. I don't know. Now I'm looking at
Hey, man, whatever. We ain't about to do that borough talk. Look, because you already know how this going to go. I'm going to side with my brother. You feel me? That's
it is
how
what it
is.
is. It is what it is.
So, you know how we say in the performance realm when it comes to us, you know, you always got to be prepared, right? It should never be oh wait, let me see, you know, whatever. So how many pieces you got prepared for today?
I got a full clip. I mean,
you got a full clip.
An extendo. It don't matter.
You got an extendo? Okay, so I'm gonna let you choose like whatever you feel like sharing with us, and you know, I already know what's going to bring forth a conversation, whichever one you so choose. So, you know, when you're ready, let it rip.
All right, this is called Think About It. If you ever wondered about the power Black folks artistry has, Jay got MSNBC breaking down his God did verse and doing the math. Telling about how we were punished when we started to cook, how big pharma is even bigger crooks, how many chefs they had, but it was served from government-regulated labs. The warehousing of our Black and brown people, a lot was selling weed and now weed going legal. Talked about how he sold rocks, now sells weed through Monogram that can be traded for stocks. The hypocrisy of prohibition. Y'all worrying about Dems versus pubs. That's a dummy mission. Then on CNN, I watched a British white woman shut down Don Lemon. She spit facts, made him be quiet and listen. He brought up reparations and she agreed, but she broke it down ever so eloquently. She said, and let me paraphrase, if you want people paid, I'm with that. But let's charge that bread where it started at. Americans and Brits were consumers of the human product, but the African lords made the most profit. Had their folks already enslaved in a cage waiting on the boats, they supplied the demand and off we go. We don't want to talk about that. We want to ignore that fact, or we don't even know what happened. Because really, in all actuality, in fact, those reparations should come from our beloved Democrats. We look at the headlines and take them at face value. Look at BLM and how they bamboozled you. Black Lives Matter when their pockets could get fatter, but Black Lives Matter was marketing at its finest because Black Lives Matter used emotion and bullshit chatter to make us scream Black Lives Matter with not a bit of positive Black life improvement action. They took your money and scattered. Black lives do matter, but we got to be smarter because we all know Black lives don't matter to each and everybody. Politics is tricks, multiple schemes to make themselves rich. Fooled us into being blue, one move back in the year of our Lord, 1964. Since that year, we ain't received no more. But I'll be damned if we ain't blindly loyal. I'm just trying to reverse some of the brainwashing, some poetic tide to eliminate the mental fabric softening, make you think and research to find your own understanding, to keep us from being sheep following the herd straight to the wolves. Show y'all the power we possess if we understand that none of these policies or handouts were meant for our good, only to keep us complacent. Last little nugget, and I'll be out your way. The illegal immigrants flooding the states, pay close attention. We about to be replaced.
Yeah, you already know. I definitely felt that one. Peace, beloved soul rest. You know, the background music, which we don't have no more, Troy. What happened? That's who produced it. That's one of my favorites. Yeah, there we go. What's the little reel? Where my theme music? See, look, you got some fire finger snaps. All right. So, what inspired I could tell from where you went, but really, where were you at? You know, the headspace you were in when you came out with that.
I'm really tired of black folks being blindly loyal and not understanding what is really happening when it comes to politics, right? I was talking to my man Mike about this today at work, right? And he put me onto this, right? We conditioned. I never thought about this example, but Mike, I'm giving you credit for it, but he gave it to me, right? So let me ask you a question. How many days in a year?
7
days in a year.
Oh, you said in a year. I'm sorry, yeah. I'm reading my brother. Everybody got giving you love over here, but they say 365, and in a leap year, supposedly 366.
Okay, so that's what we conditioned to believe, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. Can we question math? Math is 2 + 2 always equal 4, right?
From what we were taught.
Okay, so what's 7? Is 7 days in a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
52 weeks in a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means if you were to multiply 7 days times 52, you should get the number of days in a year, right?
Yeah.
That shit, the math ain't mathing. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, I never thought about that. And I'm sure there's somebody out there who, is into the.
Well, they say the calendar and stuff is not even what we're using.
That's what I'm saying.
Everything has been conditioned for us to be led blindly, because if you haven't paid attention, even some of my posts, I never say January 1st is the new year, because nothing new happens in the snow. You know what I'm saying? New life and everything begins with the springtime. So the original new year is really in spring.
See, but all that type stuff right there, you just.
I know that's it. That's what I'm saying. But there's a lot that's to break down from that. Yeah.
So the point that I'm making is that there's so many things that happen that we are just conditioned to not question. So if you ask most black folks why they're a Democrat, it's because their mother was a Democrat, their daddy, their aunts, their uncles. But the first thing is, when you start as a black person, when you start talking about Republicans, right? You're a coon, you all kinds of negative, disparaging thoughts, right? Mm-hmm. Now, here's the thing, right? There is no, first of all, a two-party system, two-party process sucks, right? Just having two parties, right? And I don't care what you say. If you get up and work, there's more black people that have Republican viewpoints than they know. And why they don't know that is because they don't understand how politics work. You know how you can prove it real quick right now, right? Gas is over $4 a gallon. Mm-hmm. Groceries is through the roof. Black, white, street nigga, white nigga. Everybody right now is pissed off at the government because the pockets are being affected. It don't matter if you're Republican, Democrat. Right now, the green is being. See, I knew somebody was going to do that.
My brother. That's my brother. That's
Somebody's
my brother.
Going to give a super deep explanation.
Well, that's what happens when you put energy out in the universe. You can't dictate how it come back.
You're right. But the point that I'm making with all of this is that we just need to start looking at stuff and being more open-minded, right?
I mean, because even when you first started breaking down to like Democrat and Republican, but the original Republican Party was us. They switched.
Why did they switch though? Why did we switch?
It was a bait and switch. From what I remember, it was the stop. It had something to do down in one of the stories I remember going through with my aunts and my uncles was down in was it Mississippi or something? It was the like they started to call it the Black Republican, the White Republican Party, the White Democratic Party, some old stuff. I have to go back and go to it, but so my brother is still on the Southern Dixiecrats.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So there's a turning point. A lot of people, your brother might, I don't know if you're going to disagree or whatever. I can't prove it because it's not really documented anywhere. The fact that, Martin Luther King Jr. was a Republican and then became a Democrat. However, there is an event right before the 1964 Civil Rights Act. He got locked up and a Republican governor, sheriff, somebody wouldn't let him out of jail. JFK was trying to get in office. They make a phone call. Can you get him out?
If you get him out, you.
King comes out. All of a sudden, we Democrats. And then Lyndon B. Johnson says, let's go ahead and get these niggas this law, paraphrasing, and we'll have their vote for hundreds of years.
I can see that.
And for hundreds of years, this is what we've been doing. And since then, if you look at a lot of the legislation, when we talk about systemic issues in neighborhoods, if you look at these cities, I don't know, is it just coincidence that most of them are Democratic, liberal-run cities? Baltimore hasn't had a Republican mayor in I don't know how long.
Lincoln was Republican. We were Republicans. LBJ signed the Civil Rights Act. We started riding for Democrats. Yep.
Like I said, right. So there we go.
Peace.
If you look at Baltimore, they haven't had a Republican mayor in I don't know how long. Right? It's been the same philosophy for years.
Yep. It has.
Murder rate, all that stuff, crazy. Chicago, same thing. Right? California, same thing. So, you can say, that it's not true or whatever, but even if you feel it's not true factually, that's a hell of a coincidence, ain't it? Isn't it at least worth thinking about?
Yeah, of course.
At least worth,
of course,
taking a look at it and looking something up and trying to educate yourself and see why are you doing the things that you're doing. Like some of the stuff that they say to us, right? We can't get ID cards. We don't have access to the DMV, the library, so anybody can vote. And we take that, we say, yeah, because we have a hard time getting these things. Not thinking, who's going to have a harder time getting an ID? Somebody that actually has a birth certificate or somebody who don't? Who don't have birth certificates from America?
Amish people.
And?
Native Americans.
Okay, these are all good, but I'm talking about like what's happening right now.
I'm just saying, like, because they don't
illegal immigrants.
Them too, but they don't participate in the whole system that we do.
Who
That's
don't?
why.
Wait a minute. Who doesn't? Illegal immigrants?
No, I'm saying that's why when anybody asks me that, those are who come to me first.
Yeah, they different.
Yeah, but we all could be like that instead of dealing with the Republican and Democratic Party.
See, now you taking me down somewhere I wasn't trying to go.
But you again, that's
you gotta.
You can't control. I ain't gotta ride. That's what you birthed. With that comment, you took it there too. Because I wasn't thinking. No, look, I wasn't thinking about bringing them up until you asked the question.
Well, it was tying into what I was saying about that party feeding us lines of bull, right? So now here's the new black people. But instead of forcing them to come in, right, they just letting them in. So if you think about it, right, the first few sets of first of us, right, were forced over here, right? Now we here kind of disenfranchised, kind of here, right? Okay. So you got these white folks want to be in power. These white folks want to be in power. So who can sway the difference, right? Well, right now, if we make these people right here in the middle, the black folks, happy, they can keep us in power, right? And they'll be indebted to us. Well, now a lot of us are waking up. We're figuring out. We're doing things like the Amish, or we changing how we vote because we're looking at the fact that, okay, he had, and I'm just going to say he had a horrible personality, but I could afford gas and eggs. Chicken wings were available. I'm just saying.
I mean, yeah, because
I never got an invite from none of the presidents that's ever been serving since I was alive. Did they ever invite me to go to dinner? So I really don't give a fuck about their personality. You hear me? But gas, when it was 2 and some change, and something to point out with the gas prices, and I'm gonna let y'all go look this up. Who was the president the last time this shit happened? When it went up to
why my sister called you Pleasure P?
What's up, yo? I ain't doing no grinding though, like Pleasure P.
But you're right. Like, see, and this is why I call you the controversial poet, is because now there's not knocking a lot of other people, but it's like you provoke these conversations all the time, and that's great. We don't have enough of that,
Well, that's because it's supposed to be, the biggest movement now is DEI, right? Diversity, equity, inclusion, right?
Yeah.
So everything's supposed to be all inclusive. We all inclusive until we disagree with the opinion of the man.
With the narrative. Mm-hmm.
Once we disagree with that, we're no longer included.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're no longer included, right?
Mm-hmm.
That causes a lot of fear. So people are actually afraid to bring forth these things. You know how many black folks voted for Trump that would not ever admit that shit?
Oh yeah, I know. Trust me, I know.
Because they were scared, because you probably won, that's why you know. I'm just playing.
No. Folks in my family got ties to Trump, so they know Trump on a different level. So
and see, that's another thing, right? It's a lot of stuff about Trump people don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But they know what the headlines put out was grab him by the pussy, right?
Yeah.
They don't know about the loans that he gave to black businesses back in the day. They don't know him when he was kind of a gangster in Queens.
Yeah, and then he was also bouncing checks too. he got to a point where he was a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, he was bouncing checks. But I mean, when you think about how business works, right? Was he bouncing checks, or was the businesses bouncing checks? Because that's different. That's kind of like Kanye right now.
I know at one point they said that all those golf courses that he has, none of them are operating in the red. They're all in the black and way, way below. So what a report I said they was saying about how like his investments really just aren't, they haven't been, or one person I remember reading somewhere on one of the posts, they were saying that they were all front businesses.
They might
but
be.
Who knows? You know what I'm saying? It's a possibility. They document who they want to document.
Exactly, because if Biden can go over to Ukraine and be called the big guy by his son ain't never had a job a day in his life, but all of a sudden he's an expert of whatever the fuck they said he was an expert at, and $1.something million deals. It's okay, because we want him in office right now.
Yeah, and which we know is the tail end of the previous president's thing, so nothing really goes into effect right away. We could talk about all that because that no hate bill that went up so fast, but it's like we've been asking.
With soul of music there. Definitely disagree.
What about it? You disagree?
I agree that it does take 4 to 5 years, but there's some things that Joe Biden did as soon as he got in office that caused a lot of this to happen. Number one, the price of fuel.
You talking about the executive orders he put in?
Exactly. Everything that Trump did. See, you're saying it's the tail end of what Trump did, right? But do you see how many executive orders that Biden signed the first day he was in office? He undid half the shit that Trump did. So that 4 to 5 years, we never got to see it. You see what I'm saying? If you follow that logic. Also, when he cut off that pipeline, that one project, the one project for the pipeline specifically, right? Mm-hmm. That displaced a whole bunch of people that's making $100,000 and better. Right? Forget the fuel part, just the impact on the people and what they could contribute to the economy. Then when you look at the fuel part, now all of a sudden we back buying gas from overseas when we weren't buying gas from overseas. We were sufficient on this side when Trump was in office. Biden undid all that shit. The wall that was damn near built, it's materials and shit just sitting there. Contracts not fulfilled. Mm-hmm. These are all contributing factors to this economy being flat. Now, when you talk about the transition from, say, Clinton to Reagan, Clinton to Bush, or Bush to Clinton, because it happened both ways.
Clinton, Bush.
Right, all of that. Then, yeah, I would rock with that because, yeah, that is typically what happens, right? Reagan and Reaganomics, he put a lot of laws in place. You ain't feel it to the next presidency for real. It takes that long for it to trickle down. So I agree with that 100% that that's the way it typically happens. But when you have somebody that comes in and just not through legislation, not through the usual congressional progress, but just stop it. That kind of takes that out of play.
Okay. So, how much of just this part, because I know how a lot of the things that I know was from my elders in my family. So any of this fire that you have, did it trickle down to your seeds?
You know, my youngest daughter doesn't get into it much, but me and my oldest daughter, we have some of the best debates ever, right? And the thing is though, I learned a lot from her, and the reason why is because, so like just going with somebody her age, I think my daughter's 28, about to be 29, right?
Okay.
She doesn't remember Joe Biden back in the 70s and the 80s. Only view of him that she has is what she sees right now, right? And the only view of Trump she had is what she saw of him, right? So in her mind, shit, this got to be better, right? Anything got to be better. So when everybody's saying Trump is a racist, I'm like, if that is going to be your disqualifying factor, then we can't elect Biden either. His own partner, Kamala, what she said, that was true. That's recorded. You can actually see him say that. He had brown hair at the time. Those exact words. He said, if you let these black kids into the school, it's going to turn my kids into a jungle. That was Joe Biden.
Yep, it was.
He's got ties to the Klan back in the day. That's Joe Biden. But because a lot of people now, they didn't know, so he's tied to Obama, and that just makes him like, well, if he's tied to Obama, he's got to be good. I didn't agree with that statement. I'm telling you, that was the selling point.
I know. No. I know. You saw my eyes. I know you wasn't agreeing with that. I just was like, yeah.
And let me just say this, right? I think all politicians, Republicans, Democrats, it's not even them. It's political action committees that pay for the vote by the law, right? So I don't trust none of them. I don't. I look at a philosophy, and one philosophy works better for me. I personally get up and go to work every day. Like I said, I've been working since I was 14. Lower taxes helps me. There is not a party that's going to do anything specifically for black people ever again.
Ever, yeah.
So why should I be loyal to any of them?
I definitely understand that. I feel you on that one. So, what's some conversations that you have with other poets? Because, you know, we do have poets who are only political. We have some who are, you know, RBG down. We have some that's just a little bit of everything. Do you find yourself being like the oddball in the room sometimes from your views? Or do you find a lot more that are on the same page with you? Paige.
I see what you did there. Whether it comes to female-male dynamics or politics, I usually wind up sitting in a corner by myself. I'm a little different, and I accept it. It's cool because here's for real, right now, and I appreciate this. You're giving me an opportunity to actually speak. You're not cutting me off. You're not talking over me. When I say something, you actually, and even the people in the room have said, maybe I never thought about that, but that's all I'm saying. Nobody has to agree with me, just like I don't have to agree with you, but we could all be respectful. Listen, like I said with my daughter, we disagreed hard, but listening to her, I understood how she got there.
Yeah.
Right? And then when she
understanding is everything.
She understood how I got there, and then we were able to actually talk and meet in the middle. Do we agree on everything? No, I don't think anybody can, will, or should. Indeed. But we don't have to be disrespectful about it. And that's the thing with me. Sometimes the level of disrespect that I get, it's more than a playful disrespect, right? Playful disrespect is cool. But if we're having a conversation and you ask me a question, because this is typically how it goes, I'm sitting there, I'm quiet, not saying anything to nobody. Hard to believe, right? And this is
no, because that's how we met. That's right. How we met. So I'm agreeing.
Somebody will ask me a question. So when I start answering and they don't like what I'm saying, now you talking over me. So where I get heated is like, I was sitting here minding my fucking business. Why did you bother me if you didn't want to hear?
You came over here.
Right.
I was cool. I was chilling.
So that's why the majority of the time I sit in a corner. The only time that I would really just get up and say what is if I'm on stage, because at that point I feel like it's my platform. I say what the hell I want to say. You know what I mean?
You got the mic, and we gotta respect the mic.
At least try to. And then when I leave, I leave. You know, and if you want any shenanigans, you know, there's an open carry state. Let me just put that out there.
Well, yes, it is, and also I have my CCW as well. So you know, look, you see in the back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, I mean,
shout out to sharpshooters. You know, Dante and Erica. Since we went with politics, what's this next piece going to be about? Where you going to take us?
Well, now I guess we could talk about men and women. That's the other hot topic, right?
Go ahead. Whichever one, it don't even matter. Just whichever one, go with it.
This is called assumption. Men are whores, dogs, liars, master manipulators, making y'all hurt, turning you into hoes. Some of y'all lesbian men haters. But in these situationships that y'all romanticize, all my brothers don't lie. They give you the real, looking you dead in your eyes. Peep game. Met the lady going through the get to know phase. By the way, y'all should spend more time there and believe what he say. Anyway, you got a wife, girl, significant other is the question she asked. I'm legally separated, living in my own space was my answer. I continued on and also said I want the companionship of a woman, but I'm not ready to be nobody's man. I'm not hurting or worrying about the ex, but I'm finally free and want to breathe. I hope you understand. If you're looking for more, I'm not the one for you. I'm not ready to be committed to anyone, not just you. Okay, cool, she replied. I've been chilling, ain't been out for a while. So let's go out on a date. Someplace we could conversate. I said, all right, cool. I'll pick you up tomorrow about 8. This goes on for a while, and in my mind, everything is fine. Of course, we was intimate, because to me, that was part of my definition of companionship. Time for the 2-month check-in. Is there anyone else you seeing? The question she asked. When I said no, I knew she got gas. The wheels started to turn. She thought my mind must have changed and we was going to last. That was an assumption. Me not sticking multiple chicks meant absolutely nothing. This is exclusive stick. I don't share it with the world. Everybody can't handle when I enter their body, not from arrogance but experience. So I share my stick responsibly. Another month goes past and we in the same situation. A holiday rolls around and all my kids come to town. We crash my mother's crib. That's how we get down. I ain't text her, she ain't text me. I wasn't ready to bring her to my family. There was no conversation, no agreed upon obligations, no clauses in the contract in reference to holiday or vacation. Next day she on the phone, hot, talking shit, fussing me out about the text, the call she ain't get. First off, was your phone working yesterday? If I was on your mind, you could have hit me up, babe. Now she's saying she can't go on being treated like this. Like how? Like this. Please clarify. I'm confused, miss. I never agreed to be your man. I never re-upped the deal. I was on my original plan. Go out, be cool, but I retain my freedom. Same goes for you. I mean, I'm not tripping. Well, we can't be cool. We can't be friends. All this got to end. Okay, I respect that. I'll fall back. All right, then. Now, somehow, I'm the villain in this tale. Even though I was straight up, never deviated from what I said. Communication is the key. Words without actions is the same as actions with no verbal communication. Without proper confirmation, an assumption is all you're making.
Now that I definitely have to agree with. You know, if this peace, Carla, she says she's enjoying this. But if this is definitely like a real life situation, I will have to really say the way you presented it, she really was listening with her own ears and not for what you were saying. And I get it. Like some of the conversations I get, you know, oh, Shine, you always of rooting for the brothers. You always defended them. I'm like, no, you told me what y'all said. I asked you particular questions, and it sounds like you took the ball and ran down to the end zone with it, and that's nowhere where he said it was going. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't get really trying to take sides, male versus female. I remember somebody saying in the chat that, that irks their nerves when women are referred to as female and stuff like that, which I get it. Everybody got triggers. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. Like, why is, what's the female?
No, but it's people. I don't, it's not me. I'm just saying it was in a chat.
Okay.
Some of them might, still be on here, but that some people we know really have issues with these terms. You know what I'm saying? So if people did more listening, like you were saying, because listening is like real big piece in communicating, proper communication. A lot of these situationships that you spoke on wouldn't be the way that they are.
I mean, it happens on both ends, like both ways. The reason why I give the male perspective is because a lot of times at open mic events, it's female dominated, right? And there's woman dominated. That you said female. Now I feel funny about saying female.
I'm just saying those are some people's quirks, but it is what it is.
I don't know, but female dominated. I mean, hell, I don't know no other way to do it. Male, female. I'm sorry if I'm offending y'all, but I'm gonna be tripping over that forever if I try to adjust on the fly.
You don't have to adjust to nothing. No.
Look, you're gonna have to give me some days and some weeks to figure that one out. But it's usually a lot of women that are performing, and a lot of times it's just like the man ain't shit. I mean, in every poem, we just ain't shit. And I'm like, well, what is your responsibility in this? Like, at some point, what was your part? Am I saying that there's never a time where a dude just dogs a female? No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that there are also females that dog dudes.
You're right.
And there are females who see it coming and they still go for it. Or when that first thing happens, they stick and stay. Same thing with dudes. But I just wanted to like, just like
make some balance, have some balance in the space. Yeah, I got you.
And it created some really cool quote unquote battles.
It did.
And it but at the same time, I feel like having those battles or whatever, again, it makes people think, right? It does. Conversation. And it's fun for me because I mean, I think a couple of times I did make people like mad for real. Like for real. I mean, like.
No, I know. No, I know. Right. But again, like you can't help it that people get air in their chest about certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like again, hearing what someone is writing or their stance. If people have an issue with it, that has nothing to do with the performer. That has everything to do with the person on the receiving end. You know what I'm saying? Like if that hit you, you need to do something to rectify that. But you can't be mad at the messenger. Because the messenger wasn't following you, observing your life and taking notes. They way over in another town somewhere, and this just came to them. So however the conduit, a lot of times people won't receive the messages because of the conduit, and really that's just how you supposed to receive your downloads. Like this is a shell, you ain't supposed to get into personal feelings, but if what the words are saying are so profound, like you really should have no choice but to really check whatever it is that's feeling affected.
Right. And I mean, it's like, I ain't gonna say I haven't been a dummy. You know what I mean? I've been a pure dummy behind a woman in my life. You know what I mean? Pure dummy. I learned my lessons though, and after that happened, I had to sit and think like, what the hell is wrong with you? You know what I mean? Why would you allow that to happen to yourself? You didn't have to. You had a choice. You always have a choice.
Self-reflection is good in every aspect of your life.
So that's really like what I was trying to get folks to do is like just just always think about what you did. The part that was yours, own it. And
Own that shit.
in some instances, if I'm walking down the street and somebody just knocked me in the head, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a part in that. I get that. But that's not usually the norm in relationships.
Exactly.
I'm not saying it can't happen. I don't make definitive absolute statements because anything could happen. But typically that's not the case. Both people see shit, ignore shit, go with shit, and then when they get the shit, now they mad as shit.
Like, example, women who are already in a bad relationship because of whether it's their attitude or the guy's attitude, whatever, the shit is toxic. So, let's have a baby. Like, that baby is supposed to make everything go away. or let's get married. Like, and it's already shit going on.
Or you already there, you already married. Let's have a threesome. What the fuck? You want to add another personality to this dumb shit? We already can't get along, and now you want to add another personality.
Exactly.
Like, come on, man.
Like, let's get this shit together first.
Right, before we start.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and then, there's the Veil. Some folks are just real good. Academy Award.
Right.
Denzel Washington with it.
Ways.
You know what I'm saying? And whether it's the female or the male, some folks are just that good. And it takes something profound or something even minute to just make it all kind of unravel. The point of the matter is, when you start to see it unravel, like, that's when you need to really pay attention. And like you said, like, let me fall back and let me check myself, because I know I've had to do that, and I have no problem with doing that. Like, I've literally, like, when we met, I shared with you about my daughter. I literally had all of that time where I wrote every single day. Sometimes I just wrote in the journal 3, 4, 5 times a day, time stamping everything. Like, I literally still have that journal. And when things now may feel like it's like, drowning, like, those are one of my reminders, like having that to go pick up and physically go back and look at. And then I sit back and I'll be like, wow, whew, like, yeah, I done came a real, real long way. Like, I remember I wasn't even thinking on the level that I am now, so I'm grateful that I was able to see that, and even more grateful that I took the time to get to know me, to know what I don't want, because there's a lot of people that I've come in contact with that are, and age means nothing, because life experiences allows you to be older than some folks. Younger folks, because of what they've experienced, become a little wiser than those in age, in comparison. So some people just don't get it because they haven't lived as much as others. I don't like to say, one life is better or harder than the other. It's just that the different experiences shapes us in different ways. Two people can literally have the same exact experiences, but they're going to come out molded differently, because there are no two people that are the same.
Right. It's interesting, though, that you say you're able to go back and look at that stuff, because I did the same thing going through situations. I had to throw that shit away. I said, shit, if the cops find this book, I'm going to go to jail. Listen, if the person would have slipped and fell and stubbed their toe, I was going to jail with the type shit I was writing in that book. I was like, oof. But that could have been, but at the same time too, it could have been a good book though. You could have just, put a little aliases through there. You probably had you about good 3 or 4 novels out of that. What you talking about? The hood books. The hood books, the Terry Woods and all of them. You could have been right up there. This
Paige,
is a murder manifesto, yo.
Paige the poet, murder manifesto.
Right. Coming to you live. Sing. Death row, nigga. Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, man. Wow. Peace to Pastor Renee Cummins. Got to give her title. That's, affectionately my grandmother. She's an awesome woman,
So, do we have
used
to
to be
now?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. And we mean that with love, but no,
Right.
that's not this type of party. You know,
Okay.
It is what it is. Be comfortable how you are. You know, she's definitely one of those, like, when I say women who, when y'all come in contact with me and y'all say that the way that I think is different, I will definitely say that has some homage paid to her, because she was once, as they say, of the world. You know, you get what I'm saying? And I could talk about this woman forever, you know.
She was out there in them streets.
Yeah, she was. but you know what I tell you, like, when it came to like having confidence, like having no fear, you know, you should never be afraid of the next person. You know, her and my grandfather, they was like Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, they
you
sound
know,
like some thugs.
I mean, yeah, now she a thug for the Lord. You feel what I'm saying? She OG in the game. But, you know, like, respectfully though, like, you know, she is like a big, like, huge factor in my reframing of the mind. You know, being able to, you know, when you speak about religion, like people in general, you know, all of them, no matter which faith walk that you choose, they all speak one thing that's the same, and it's love. But no matter what people claim to be, there's a lot of them that don't operate in love. And the one thing that I learned from her is the fact that you really gotta love people where they are. I mean, in my eyes, she has never showed me, when she was of the world and now she's not, she's never showed me like that backbiting spirit. She's never talked down to anybody. Like, she was that realist, like, which is why, like, I honestly gotta say why we vibe, because talking to you, you know, like, you're a realist. Like, you're not gonna, I hear all of that, but this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's the emotion part, but this is the fact. This is the logic right here.
It's funny that you saying those words, because I promise you, me and Mike, we talked. Anybody else out for work, but we was on the phone for about an hour and some change at work today, right? He worked with me at Paycheck, and I mean, we were having almost the same conversation about stripping emotion, and it is what it is. But go ahead, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
But that's what it is. That is, like, so much of the issues that we have is because we don't know how to digress and separate the two. A lot of the bad choices and decisions we make come from an emotional place. They didn't come from a place of logic, you know. I'm all pissed off, heated, you know, like a lot of the killings that we talk about, you know, the adult temper tantrums. Those are all emotionally driven responses where no one is taking a step back to, like, really assess the situation and be like, okay, wait a minute, this really ain't that serious. Like, I literally saw a brother on I think it was TikTok or whatever. They were, you know how you around your boys, Jones and ranking, you know, whatever you call it, you know, bagging on each other. But I guess dude started to get in his feelings, but these was brothers that, like, grew up together. Like, they all know where the mamas stayed. They all done stayed at each other's houses. And this one guy, I guess they was laying into him too much. And he caught feelings. And he caught feelings to the point that while they were all going live, he really went to his car and got a pistol and was pointing it at him. Like, and we all know when you draw, you're supposed to shoot. Like, that's it. You don't pump fake with the pistol. And I mean, like, I was so glued to it because I'm like, wow, I hear what the brother recording is saying. He like, bro, like, we love you. What is you talking about? I know where your mama stay. Our families know each other. Our moms is friends. And you really about to take it there? But I heard him. He said, dude took it too far. They weren't trying to listen to him. You get what I'm saying? Like,
I get it 100%.
People got limits, you know, and a lot of times we think because, oh, we boys, we this, or we girls, we could be able to run and say whatever, like, and not respect people's boundaries. And emotions is everywhere. You got to be careful. Post-pandemic, pre-pandemic, people are some just operate out of their feelings. We got to take the time to know who we dealing with.
Here's my thing with that though, right? I understand people got feelings. Everybody got feelings, right? I got feelings. You got feelings. We all got feelings, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just to that example, I don't know what the boy said, right? But if that's your crew, that's your man, right? I've been in those situations.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody went too far. Punch him in the mouth. Don't
Shut him
pull out
up.
a pistol. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't pull out a pistol. Like, I just feel like where we are right now in this society, we just do too much. Okay, if I fight my homeboy, I've done it. Fight your homeboy.
Triggers are real. That's right.
Win, lose, or draw. When the fight is over, we good. We drinking a 40, smoking a Newport. We back on the corner.
You got that. You got that
Like,
up off.
got it out. Sometimes
Yeah.
dudes, for whatever reason, we gotta. I don't know. We stupid like that.
But I love y'all for that, though. You know what I'm saying? It's because there's a lot of women that can't do that.
Okay,
y'all are better at that.
Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. I just saw a lot of emotion flash across your face. All right.
Because I've witnessed so many of y'all do that, and that's what I'm saying is that's one of the upper hands that y'all have compared to women. And I know I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for that.
But with that right there, do you agree that men are wired different than women? Because with this whole thing with stuff, we'll just say.
Well, I would say yes, we are wired differently, but we have our similarities. There are women who can do that, but in my experience, speaking from my standpoint, I've seen men able to go at it. They able to argue and then be like, man, let's take it. But I've seen women carry a grudge for months to years.
So older generation men and women, right? You don't think that women are more emotional than men?
I would have to say emotional because that's how we're made. Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's how we're naturally wired. Yes.
Okay. So when you see that now, right? When you look at the younger generation men, right? I deal with everything through like drugs, right? So like for us it was the crack era. Then they started. I forgot what they started moving to next, but now it's the pill poppers, right?
Yeah.
So the pill popping era, right? Doesn't it seem like the dudes are a little more sensitive than what they used to be?
Yeah.
Now, if you take that, right, and you add it to that situation that you just described, that's how we get in there. So how are we getting all these super sensitive dudes?
It could be a lot of factors. I mean,
what you think the biggest one is? Come on.
The biggest one? Yeah. I've never been asked this, so that's why I'm like, I would say not knowing how to manage their emotions.
Who teaches that? Who teaches a man how to manage their emotions?
Another man.
So what's the biggest, how are we getting the biggest cause of us doing that?
Because there's a lot of men that are not, I'm not going to say active, but there's situations where men are not active in these young men's lives. Like whether it's because of the father's fault, because of the mother's fault, like whatever the reason for it being absent, there's still no reason why those young men cannot be attached to men who are doing right.
So I'm bringing that up not to debate the point of how they become absent, but just to point out the fact that they are absent. Right? It's a breakdown of the family unit. And
yes.
You don't have to be necessarily in the same roof in order to have that. See,
that's right. You don't. You're totally right.
When my kids were 7 and 4, I think it was 6 and 3, 7 and 4, something like that. Was the first summer that they were apart because me and their mother split, and they was down here with me in Charlotte. And mother was in Baltimore. So there was no court order. I had just as much right to keep them as I did to take them back. As much as I love my baby girls, I started to do it. But I didn't do it because I said they're girls and they need their mother more during these years than they need me. right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I moved up there, right? And like I said, I stayed up there until my first granddaughter was born. Because then I'm like, y'all doing grown folks things, I can leave my
I'm going
live
about
my
your
life
business.
there, right? So, but during that time when they got to be in that space where they needed to start, because females need to see, or daughters need to see that same thing from their fathers, right? So
Yeah.
like when they got to be like 12, 13 for their birthdays, I would take them to Applebee's, right? And while we sitting there, I say, look, when you start dating, which ain't gonna be for however many years, but when you do start, this should be your minimum. That little boy really like you, he should be able to get, because at that time, $40, you could have a good old time at Applebee's. You get everything you
Yes.
want, right? $40.
Them 2 for 2s and all
right.
of that.
You know what I'm saying? I said he should be able to bring you here, right? He should be able to either get his parents to pick y'all up, or if he's old enough to drive, whatever the case may be, you need to start looking at man type qualities, right? And I started putting that in them young, right? Like, don't get is what I call a builder nigga. You know what I mean?
Build the bears.
Okay, you said
on both sides. We're gonna call them build the bears on both sides.
Fine. Builder people. I don't use bear. I say nigga and hoe. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like, just to start showing them, like, no, I'm not telling you to be a gold digger and, you know, somebody just gotta have, but you want to start looking at qualities. If they don't have, why don't they have, and what are they doing to get?
Yeah,
if all of them questions and answers make sense, do your thing. But if somewhere in there you asking that question and you get some type of weird answer, don't do it. And it's not that the person's a bad person. Again, when I moved up there, right, I didn't have nothing. At that time in the economy, you could quit a job, go to another state and get a job and pretty much be okay, right? You didn't need that much time in between.
Yeah.
So I got the apartment. I ain't have nothing in it but a 13-inch TV, sitting on a milk crate, and a little futon thing. I'm kind of a big guy, right? So it was rough sleeping on that thing at night, right? But that was the only furniture in there, right? Only thing. But I had peace of mind.
That's right.
Now, the thing is, I went up there and did that just so I could be near them.
Yeah.
Right? And so that I could raise them and be involved with them. And I believe that's why we such homies right now.
And that's good. That's dope. Me and my Uncle Mike have that. Shout out to my Uncle Mike. He's my mom's brother. He was very, very significant, especially with my mom transitioning so young. You know, he kind of like stepped into the role because they was like tougher than leather. So he made sure I had all the support. He took me out. He was like, look, we're going to hang out going down to the shores of the Greek. You know, he even took me to the Greek Fest with him down there to Belmar and Asbury Park. But, you know, taking me different places, letting me see things the way that, you know, he felt that I should be appreciated. You know, Paige, I really, really I knew this was going to be a dope interview. That's why at the wedding, I was like, yo, I really want to get you on this show. And I'm going to just tell you right now, you're going to be the first person I'm going to say, like, I got to get you back on here. Like, really, I got to get you back on here because we not finished. You know what I'm saying? Because the stuff that you got going, like, I hope everybody sees what I've been saying. You know what I'm saying? Is because you have pieces that can create, like, really, if you could you need to do like a seminar or something, you know what I'm saying, where folks get together, create a consensus, because as we both agreed, it's always about a bunch of complaints, but okay, we got to start pulling together and getting the resources and coming up with solutions. Now we did enough talk, we've been doing enough complaining, now we need to start getting solutions and getting action. So
I do have some type of plan like that when you was asking, but I didn't tell that because somebody might have the bread and be able to do it right now. So I don't
well, for that,
go
ahead. No, we'll go ahead, drop your socials, you know, let everybody know where they can follow you, where you're going to be opening up on the next open mics or whatever. Share all that right now.
I think the next open mic for me will be Nouns and Verb Artist Block. That is the second Saturday in November. I do
Okay.
Simply Sonia's every Thursday. That starts at 8. That's out in Winston-Salem. If you are on IG, you can get me at Paige_DA_poet. That's Paige_the poet, or Paige_the_poet.
Mhm.
And if you are more of a Facebook person, you can get me at Melvin Paige the Poet Carter on Facebook.
All right. Troy, you want to come on in?
What it'd be like?
Like I told you, this one here, we definitely got to get him on some other platforms on Blast too.
No doubt. I was loving everything I was hearing.
Yeah, because I love it where you could go everywhere. You know, that shows the depth. You know, you deep, brother. I got to give you that. You deep. That's dope.
That sounds funny. I used to always make fun of people, old deep ass so and so.
But guess what? Now you old deep ass so and so. But I really, really appreciate you again. You know, he was trying to be a little funny, talk about so what? Oh, I feel special, man, bro. If you don't get out of here,
nobody ever asked me to interview before. I did feel special. This is my first interview. Nobody's ever done it before. Absolutely.
Okay, well, it's the first. It's a first of many now. Watch, they about to start coming in. Watch.
Thank you. Speak that thing into existence.
Yes, that's what we do.
I got a quick question for you before you go, though. You
Okay.
say peace 3 times. Why? What's the significance of 3?
Well, 3, because I want to make sure, you know how it references, you know, the touch and agreeing, or when you want to manifest things, you say it in 3s. So I want to, I want to wish everywhere that I go, I come in peace. I want to leave you in peace. You know, no matter what you're going through, you know what I'm saying? I hope that you find peace within it, because, you know, that's definitely what I want for myself. So what I want for myself, I want for my brother and my sister.
Absolutely. Okay, I just always wanted, because you always say peace. I'm like, why does she do it 3 times? Like, I can read it and I heard it.
That's
okay,
right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's right. Because guess what? You know how sometimes when people be like, just pray for me, I don't know why. I done already did it. I done already covered it with that.
Absolutely, you did. Okay, I got you. I learned something. That's what it's all about for me.
Yes.
Indeed. All right. So is that it? Is it a wrap?
It's a wrap. And as Paige pulled out, you know, peace, peace, peace.
Hey, we'll see y'all next week, Friday. Oh, y'all better be here next week, Friday. Shoot.
Yeah, because, you know, it is the second dose of the erotic poetry series. Man. So, you know, make sure y'all tune in. Hey, you know, Paige, maybe we could get you on an erotic poetry night, you know.
I got a couple of those too. I know you do.
You feel me? I know you do. That's why I say, yeah, we got to get you to come back.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.
All right.
All right, man.
All right, y'all be safe.